What's going on, team? Proof here. Welcome back to the next recruit report video. And the card I'm going over now is Powerback Renaldo, which is the other triple rare that we received in the set alongside Bad End. And boy, it's a doozy. So let's go ahead and get into it. So his skill says auto on Vanguard or Rear Guard when placed from hand. That's important. Cost Counterblast 1 and put a card from your hand into the soul. Look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as your Vanguard's grade. Call up to 3 cards from among them, and then put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, on the surface of it, like a lot of people that have pointed out it as well, it is a better version of Spike Bouncer, which is a card that we received last set, the triple rare, one of the triple rares we received last set. It's like an inverse of what Renaldo does, is that instead of putting the card from your hand to the soul, you would Soul Blast 1 out, check equal to your Vanguard grade, call 1 out, only 1, and then put the rest of the cards to the bottom. So, but for the exchange of putting the card from your hand to the soul, you can call up to 2 cards on your grade 2 turn, or you can call up to 3 cards on your grade 3 turn. And in premium, you look at the top 4, but you can still only call 3 because that's what the rules of the card says. So it's kind of like they took Unite Attacker, realized how underwhelming it was from the previous set, and gave him a whole scale upgrade, like reduced his grade down to 1, made him active sooner because you can check the top 3. Unlike Unite Attacker, you would check the top 5. And then you would call any number of them from the Unite Attacker. And more times than not, maybe 3 of them would have been worthwhile calls that were non-triggers. So you can still low roll it with Renaldo here and get triggers, but they're happening sooner, so you can still get a better, more immediate impact out of it. And I haven't really done the math on it, but I think on average you're gonna get about 15,000 worth of power. So a 10k and a trigger on average if you ride this on your grade 2 turn and check your top 2 and call both of them out. But that still means you have the potential there to hit maybe a grade 3 and a trigger for an 18k line, which lines up very well if you go first against your opponent's 8k Vanguard. Or you can hit 2 grade 3s and then have boosters to call behind it and have 21k lines or higher, depending on the grade 1s that you call or the grade 3s that you call. So instantly it promotes a high aggression, and like it promotes your early game tactics as well. And then it combos super well with Offensive Punter. Well, most grade 2s do, but if you play with Offensive Punter, they both trigger at the same time. So you can resolve Renaldo first, see what you get off the top 2, call it in a favorable position, and then you can take Offensive Punter, use his Forerunner skill, and call it where he would fit best on your board. A lot of flexibility there. So if you call something that needs a booster, you can put Offensive Punter back there. If you have something that works better not behind Vanguard, you can call Offensive Punter behind Vanguard. And since you put a card from your hand to the soul, you have an additional soul there to use with Offensive Punter to Soul Blast 1 out, and you'll still have 1 left for any other Soul Blasting skills that need to be done. And Renaldo functions very well with the Persona cards, so your Detonate Barrel and your Breaking Grandmobile. And on your grade 2 turn, if you have, let's say you have 2 Detonate Barrels in your hand, you can put the first one in with Renaldo, check your top 2, call them out, and then call the second Detonate Barrel to your rear guard column, to your rear guard side, circle I should say. And then you can attack with it, activate his skill to Soul Blast and draw, and it gets an additional 10k power. So in exchange for paying for the cost of Renaldo, you get the card back essentially, and you have a mobile Bracky on your board. Or if your opponent gives you 2 Counterblasts and you do it with Breaking Grandmobile, you can get 4 attacks off on your grade 2 turn, which is rare. I want to say probably unprecedented for Spikes as well, to be able to do something like that in the early game. So, or if you're feeling crispy, you can play Franny in your deck, or you can play Sigiswald and get the Counterblast back and call out a call out Breaking Grandmobile if it comes off the top as well, and do some fun things there. So a really unprecedented card for us and being able to function the way it does. And it also supports our grade 3s as well, because when it comes to not United Attacker, we don't care about him. When it comes to Bad End Dragger, sometimes you might call triggers off of Renaldo. You got that junk on the field. You can use it with Bad End Dragger on the following turn to counterblast 1, put the trigger back to your deck because it's likely going to stick around for a turn because your opponent probably won't waste an attack on the trigger. Put it back to the bottom after it does what it needs to do, and then your Bad End Dragger gets an additional 5k in a crit for no real investment from you prior to that. And it also helps feed the cost for Bull Spike as well. And it functions favorably in that position because Bull Spike himself doesn't use Counterblast, so you have excess Counterblast to use. You can use it on Renaldo on your Bull Spike turn to be able to look the top 3 and call 3 and assemble a good board for yourself to precede your Bull Spike and have an additional soul to pass around your crit or your Force 1 marker with your Bull Spike. So a lot of applications in the standard side of things. And he also functions well in premium because he becomes a 1-card setup for Agrius. Because you might have 2 counterblast to use, you can plop down Renaldo, counterblast 1, and now you check the top 4 and call 3. So you fulfilled the requirement to use Agrius without committing more cards from your hand to do it, which is insane value for an Agrius turn. Because when Agrius attacks, you can bind 3. Or if you bind, you can bind as many as you want to, but if you bind 3, you draw a card and call back 2 per G unit face up in your G zone. So then you get 5 attacks off for your 2 counterblasts, and you've essentially plus 3 off of that because you give up 1 to call 3, and then you get to draw 1 as well. So huge tempo play to be done with Renaldo here just for Agrius. And he also sets up your Bad End, double break ride, double ride, whatever we want to call it now with Bad End, new Bad End. You'd be able to set that up for 1 counterblast if your hand's lacking, or it gives you a chance to dig for combo pieces to call out for your Bad End, Good End chain sequence as well. So incredible card, like instant 4-of staple in all versions of at least standard. I want to say it's going to fit in all versions of premium as well, just because early aggression and easy recovery from retire / board wipes, which is a huge thing to have, especially in standard, because big sweeping effects are becoming more and more prevalent in the standard side of things. In premium, it's always been it just depends on the current state of the meta. Like usually it's like a huge combo or something like that going on, but Renaldo will still help in both sides of the formats just because of how incredibly strong it is and how it scales favorably in almost all situations. So beautiful card, like amazing card, amazing artwork, amazing skill, huge applications across all versions of spikes, and I can't wait to test it. Like sometimes you might just feel the need to pitch everything, and you might be able to draw Punter, Renaldo, and then grade 3 of choice for what your deck needs to function, and then be able to just power out from there just because of how much value you get from Punter into Renaldo into calling stuff on the board. Because Punter plus Renaldo, call 1, you have 3 cards on the board, and now you can just call 1 behind Vanguard to help facilitate hitting. So kind of just reiterating what I said before, because I'm just really hype about this card. But that'll do it for me. I'm gonna stop rambling on more and more about this. Yeah, best card in my opinion of the set. Like early nominee, but my consensus #1 draft pick. That's the way I feel about it, and I would love to hear other people's opinions about it as well. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Look out for the next one, the last card that has a skill outside of vanillas and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the series up to now, and yeah, peace, be easy.